Our next speaker who's going to introduce our next governor is Reverend Owens from the New Hope Baptist Church in Metuchen. Now, I think you know that Metuchen is Barbara Buono's hometown. And when he came this morning, Reverend Owens reminded me that we need prayer and that we as Democrats are people of faith. But he has known Barbara for a long time, and he has been a mentor to her for many years. So I'm now proud to introduce Reverend Owens.
Now you know you're in trouble when you have a whole lot of politicians and the last voice is a Baptist preacher. You have a lot of hot air in the room, a lot of long-winded speeches, and I'm not going to take away from that reputation. It is my distinct honor to introduce our next governor. I've known her for more than 20 years. I've known her as a councilman. I've known her as an assembly person. I've known her as a senator. When we first met, she was on the council of Metuchen, and everybody from Metuchen hollered. There, she was the first woman commissioner of the police department and opened the doors for minorities, women, and African Americans and others to come onto the police force to represent our total community. She not only worked for the working poor of Metuchen, but she worked for everybody. When she started to move towards the assembly in the 18th district, it was dominated by two assemblymen that were Republicans and a senator. The higher powers back in that day, in the early 90s, said she could not win. They said it was impossible to take the 18th district. Barbara Buono, and I know this for sure because since it's African American Heritage Week, I'll say to the chairman of the Middlesex County Democratic Committee that I served in those years as the first and last African American vice chair of the Democratic Party for Middlesex County. And when the powers to be said she could not win, she took the streets and knocked on 1,090 committee people's doors throughout Middlesex County and assured them that she would represent them in the 18th district and in Middlesex County. She won overwhelmingly and then went on to win over and over again her assembly seat overwhelmingly. When she moved from the assembly to the Senate, they said again, she would not win. You know something? I think the powers to be don't know this, but I will tell you. Whenever you tell Barbara she can't do something, you can best believe she's going to do it. Not only did she win a Senate seat, not only was she the majority leader, not only did she chair the Finance Committee, not only did she have balanced budgets, not only did she save our state more than $4 billion without taking away from our school systems or any of our social services. But this woman that I talk about has done all of this because she comes from a working class background. Her father, an Italian immigrant, coming to the shores of this nation as a butcher, her mother, a substitute teacher and an office worker, going through not some of the premier schools of our nation, but some of the finest schools of New Jersey. Born and bred here, going to Montclair State and graduating with a political science degree, and then going on to Rutgers Law School to get her law degree and to practice before she went into politics. But not only that, with all of that, she had children, was a fine mother, and still is a fine mother, a wonderful and dutiful wife, carrying on all of that. making sure that she represents Middlesex County and the whole state of New Jersey. I don't know where she gets the energy from, except for the fact that she has a Baptist preacher praying for her. But let me tell you this, I have been her political ally, I have been her friend, I am her spiritual confidant. And I promise, Barbara, I won't tell anybody who you're rooting for in the Super Bowl on tomorrow. But I will tell you this, that if we all get together in New Jersey, Democrats, frustrated Republicans, and undecided independents, and get behind Barbara Buono, we will have a state that is more unified, a state that represents all of the people and not some of the people, a state that is inclusive in government and not exclusive, a government that represents the poor as well as the rich, a government that moves the working poor to the middle class and the middle class assured of keeping their place, and not a governor who will not sign a bill to raise the minimum wage in New Jersey in the worst economic season that we've ever seen in the nation. We need a governor that's sensitive. We need a governor who's in touch. We need a governor who loves the people and not himself. And let me, as a personal citizen, as a homeowner, as a voter, governor, not just one saying about our president that was nice during Sandy will keep you in the State House. Your record speaks for itself, and the people of New Jersey are tired, and we're going to send a message to the whole nation that New Jersey in the next election will have a Democratic governor by the name of Barbara Buono.